Why am I Lieutenant Junior grade?
Oh, what am I,
And
Commander TriggerAngry? Yes!
Why is he above me, first of all?
So we open with Luke and his brownies. Welcome to the DataStream podcast. Now, before we dive into Star Trek Destination Star Trek London and all various other manners of things, we start with this.
It is a lighthouse in the middle of land. The power signature is coming from inside.
I'm Ryan Andrews, and I'm here to ask you a question. What if? What if our great federation helped itself more than it helped others? We have a duty to aid the planet, they say. We value not personal gain. We share our gains with all. I rejected those answers. I chose something different. I chose Rapture. A city where science would not be constrained by petty morality. Where we could truly advance ourselves. From the shell of a decrepit vessel, I made the individual important again. Here you will work for your own gain. Opportunity awaits.
Phase on stun.
It appears that the superstructure is intact, Captain Lewis.
Appears so, but this isn't the ship I know and love.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Would you kindly pick up that shortwave communicator?
Hello there.
So, Luke, if you'd like to explain what we just saw there.
Yeah, that was a clip from an episode of my fan film series Star Trek Unity, which was released, first of all, in 2010. It's called Rapture, and it's a sort of crossover with a video game series called BioShock, which I'm sure many of you will have heard of. And I recently remastered it as part of a sort of Rapture week I've been doing, mostly with myself, playing BioShock, but also re-editing and improving some of the effects and so forth. And I chose that clip to show this week because I thought it was a good example of using live action, locations, green screen, and machinima, as in using clips and video and environments from the video games. A couple there was BioShock 1 and Elite Force.
You were saying about, you said how you sort of added sort of effects and, like what you've done with older episodes and things like that.
Yeah.
I noticed these subtle sort of noise when there was a sort of flickering green screen.
Yeah, this Rapture episode was done in 2010. That's when I first started using more professional video editing.
The storyline,
Yeah, and at the time, a lot of it was just, the fact that the green screen wasn't working properly. There were sort of gaps, and I eventually worked that in during sort of the following episodes after that one, actually. So quite soon after, the whole storyline about the discontinuities and the Nightmare Child and all that. And so when I went back, I was able to add in that iconic
the little
I created,
subtle George Lucas.
just to explain away some of the slightly less good effects. But it works because if you've watched ahead, you know what it means, and if you haven't, then you wonder what the hell is that. And there's definitely more to it than just being bad green screening, which originally was.
I was watching it again, right? And I sort of heard that noise, and I'm sort of watching the screen like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I know that sound.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So if you're one of the very few people in the world who watch this regularly enough to know the tropes, then you would recognise that. But I also added a few more effects. Some of the lightning effects of the plasmids and a few of the other sort of starship shots. And there's a scene at the end of Rapture Part 2, which I re-released today, with all the sort of gas, the red gas coming out. I improved that a bit. So it's just subtle things, because actually I think the episode stands up quite well after 4 years, considering what I do now.
Yeah.
So
and how
I
many
didn't have to do
parts
much.
is it?
It was 2 parts. The first part was released in 2010 in December, and the second part was very early 2011. But I just redid them all in about a week. Not much needed. A few sound things added and tweaked.
And of course,
here they are again.
it's all one episode now because of the new YouTube allows you to upload longer videos.
For some reason, despite the fact that obviously I use, in a non-profit sense, licensed music and stuff, I've yet been given suddenly this week been given a new I can
Partner
up
status?
videos along and stuff.
That sounds like yeah.
So it's cool. I can add little thumbnails as well. It's nice.
Yeah, and if you want, you can actually join a couple of videos together with the online editor.
Yeah,
Which is handy.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
are you saying you can monetize stuff now?
I can. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I'm still thinking about it. This is all.
Yeah,
quite
that's a tricky one to get into at
Yeah.
times.
It is.
Stuff.
But on the other hand, I mean, some things I can edit together to create one video, and I might do that with some of the older ones that are in multiple parts. But I am in the middle of remastering a few old episodes.
The only problem with going back to the older ones and doing anything with them is you might disrupt all your view counts or any of your comments or anything.
Oh yeah, that's always a problem.
That is always a problem.
That's why I haven't touched any of my old stuff. I've just continued going forward.
I think I'd rather. I don't usually get that many comments, and views don't matter as much to me as they would for other people, perhaps. I do keep some of the old videos as private, so I can still access them and see the comments and stuff if I want to. But generally, I just think it's nicer to have a neater, ordered playlist of a series to watch for newcomers to watch.
I
That
like it
all
as
looks
one
good.
episode.
Huh?
I always kind of wanted to see it as one episode. You know,
Which
rather
one?
than sort of little bits, all of it. You know what I mean? I
All right.
like
So when I'd upload it, yeah.
Well,
and
that's where
I don't do that,
playlists
obviously,
come in
because-
handy.
yeah.
Sorry.
Playlists.
Yeah. Yeah, I've used playlists for years, but now it's nice because you don't have to have multiple parts. Some of them will. I think that any episodes I release after Rapture, so after 2011, I won't be touching because on the whole I'm pretty happy with them. But some of the season 4 episodes, some of the sort of 2008, 2009 episodes, I will be redoing. But not by much. I don't want to be George Lucas.
Yeah, he probably rationalised it like that.
So, now we've looked at a quick opener, let's have a quick, won't be quick necessarily, let's move on to conventions. And more of your chocolate brownies go through it. So it's just been announced that Star Trek, Destination Star Trek is going to be returning to London later this year in October. Now, Richard has already happily announced that he's going along for all 3 days to promote Risa.
Indeed.
You have business
Indeed.
cards?
Not yet. No, it's gonna happen. I spoke with my team, and all of us, funny enough, all 3 of us are based in the UK. And definitely 2 of us will be going. One of them, I'm not 100% sure what's happening with them, but hopefully all 3 of us will be able to go and meet up and obviously promote Risa and everything else. I will be spending probably Friday and Sunday doing heavy promotion for Risa, and Saturday more time for me and enjoying the convention itself, because I think if I did full-blown promotion all 3 days, I would miss everything. Whereas I think Saturday is probably going to be the best day because that's where everyone's finally there and everything else. Although, don't get me wrong, I will still be handing out business cards as much as I can on the Saturday. I won't be actively seeking out people to speak to about Risa and everything. So, which is absolutely fantastic. We are building up our plan for promoting things, which is fantastic. I'm getting very excited very quickly. Probably too excited too quickly, but oh well. So we've started. We've got our accommodation booked, which is fantastic. We're only about a 10-minute walk away from the Excel Centre, staying in one of the local holiday inns.
Yeah, we stayed at Travel Lodge last time. Really convenient.
Absolutely, and the thing for me is that luckily I won't be driving down to London myself, or I won't be getting the train. One of the other guys who I'll be going with will be driving me down, so it'll be quite nice. So I'm sure there will be some form of alcohol consumed. So, which
you think about going to the parties, because they do parties. And
yeah, absolutely.
And last time, my friend Ian and I bought a ticket on the day. It was like 25 quid for this Klingon party, Klingon monster party or something.
Right, okay.
They had laser tag, that was cool. They had the Klingons, J.G. Hertzler and Robert O'Reilly, they did some sort of music thing. Okay. And they also had bungee jumping, but not of that sort, more of a sideways thing.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which we had to go on. But it was a waste of money apart from that. So I think it's nice. A lot of the groups who meet on Facebook and that sort of thing, there's a few Star Trek London groups, they sort of did their own parties at the hotels, sort of in the sort
and
of
there was a big Facebook
that could be just
group as well during the last one.
Yeah, definitely. No, there's some big groups out there, and I think half the time, you know, if you're in the middle of a Star Trek convention, instead of going to a party, you could always just go home and watch some of the tapes, watch some episodes. That's what I'd do.
Unity episodes?
Sorry?
Unity episodes?
I don't need to watch my own series. I know it. I know what happens. It's not going to be as fun for me. I mean, I watch the Next Gen, you know? Get into the mood a bit, and then next day wake up.
And if you want to have a lot of Next Generation, CBS Action are showing it from, I think it's next week.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah, from the very start. They've just finished Enterprise, so they're moving on to TNG.
Because for a while on terrestrial, well, I won't say terrestrial, but on sort of Freeview channels, there hasn't been a lot of Star Trek gone, has there, really?
Well,
CBS
Action's available on FreeSat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been doing the original series and Enterprise.
Yep. But Enterprise is now coming to an end. They're going on to TNG, probably moving on to DS9 after that.
I think Channel 5 did Voyager for a little while, and Channel 4 used to do Enterprise repeats. So there's not been a lot on lately, and I know that it really has sort of, even in syndication terms, had its time, because everyone has seen every episode now practically.
To be honest, this is my first time watching most of Enterprise actually at the moment. So I'm
Why is that? Were you a hater back in the day?
No, actually, I was just couldn't get the channel with it on at the time.
On Sky One, wasn't it? Because we didn't used to have Sky, and we got Sky, so I could watch Enterprise. I'm not sure if that's like worth the money, but it was good. Quite a controversial show, but we've been through that a billion times. Definitely worth watching at least once.
Yeah, I've last night had In a Mirror Darkly Part 1, so I'm on to Part 2 tonight.
Season 4 is the only one I've got on DVD. It's quality.
I will tell you something.
Season 2 is pretty good. I quite. There's no bad part of Enterprise, I don't think. You know, there's a sort of boring part of DS9. You know, at the start, TNG's a bit slow to start, and all the characters are not themselves. And then I think when they got to Enterprise, they kind of knew what they were doing, and you know,
season 2 is a bit samey, but
yeah, I just think there's nothing that stands out as being bad at all. It's something you nitpick, but you know.
See, I watched the very, very last episode of Enterprise yesterday.
Well, that's an exception.
Yeah, that was pure genius. That was
Well, there was somebody saying just very recently how. I've forgotten the title of the last Enterprise one.
These are the Voyagers.
Yeah, how that would have made a really good series premiere at the very start.
Do you know what? I think These Are the Voyages wasn't.
It was if you have a look on Facebook at the moment, it's being pulled up on the Destination Star Trek, how it's a thread, and that was their viewpoint.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I decided to watch it last night, purely because TrekCore actually released a standard definition to HD definition conversion
I like
video.
those videos; they're good. I haven't seen that one yet.
It is really good, actually. And the first thing, I don't want to give any spoilers, though. That's the thing.
Number one.
You see two familiar faces in the very last episode, and I thought, holy cow, what the hell's going on? Is this some temporal time travel thing? And because as being a TNG fan that I am and not an Enterprise fan, I thought I'm going to suck it up and watch it, and by God, my mind was blown to pieces. And I made a post on Risa actually saying that for those who are unfortunate to know me, know that I absolutely hate Enterprise. But the last episode I really genuinely enjoyed.
Well, here's something even better. There is, on YouTube, somebody has put together those two episodes, the TNG episode and the Enterprise episode, in the format of TNG.
See, that is awesome, because, you know, it suddenly clicked to me about halfway through about where that timeline from the TNG aspect.
If you watch the YouTube version, it sort of makes much more sense from the later perspective.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's one of the reasons that I really enjoyed it, was the fact that the Pegasus story arc, you know, that was something I was very familiar with, because I think I watched that episode of TNG quite recently with the Admiral. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times actually, that episode. I can't think, don't ask me for names, but where the Admiral, you know, is trying to push for the cloaking device from the Pegasus, and then they adapt the technology for the Enterprise to then go through the rocks to beat the, I want to say, Romulans.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. See, got me.
Well, right. I know what you're saying. I think that's actually what drew me to watching it the first time on YouTube, because of the fact that Commander Riker and Troy were in it, right? But I think it's not a great sort of ending to Enterprise's show. Yeah, and I know you hate Enterprise, or whatever. Yeah, but we don't really spend time with those characters. And with those people, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a sort of a
show stealer.
Yeah, and the way that a certain character dies is a bit, you know, sudden. But I enjoyed it, right? It was an okay ending, but you know, I wouldn't have minded it if they'd sort of stuck to the whole, done it in the sort of timescale of Enterprise, yeah. You know, with them, those characters and everything. And at the end, they still had that good montage with all the ships, yeah, at the end. I wouldn't mind that, but I think the fact that it's sort of, we're excited to see Riker and Troy, that it's kind of, you know, it's...
Well, it takes away from...
Yeah, it takes away from the characters we've kind of known over the past 4 years. So then Terra Prime is kind of the last one, and then it's, you know, that's an okay, so...
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with These Are the Voyages is it gets a lot of fan hate because of that reason, and it is essentially a Next Generation episode. And obviously for a series finale, that's a little bit insulting. However, what I think most people overlook, and what the producers themselves have said, and because of the way the series works, I'm sure you know that not a lot of people know this, but it was their intention to write Terra Prime and Demons, which is that two-parter that comes immediately before the series finale, as Enterprise's finale. And if you watch it back on those terms, and I've got them on DVD, I have them fairly recently, it is a cracking two-parter. It is everything Enterprise is about. It's got lots of decent action sequences. It's got high production values, right? And it's got heartbreak. And just because it doesn't have a particularly meaningful goodbye bit towards the end, like all the other series have had, doesn't for me take away from the fact that it's basically goodbye Enterprise. And then producers said, right, with that out of the way, we've got one episode. That's what they got left. We want to make this into a tribute for Star Trek in general, its current incarnation, its whole 1987 to 2005. We want to make that a love letter to the fans. Obviously, the fans didn't particularly receive that well, but that was the intention. And if you look at it on those terms, it covers a lot of ground, and that is what it it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be goodbye to this Star Trek. Hello, JJ. Goodbye to this form of Star Trek. The two-parter before that is what I consider and what the producers consider and what I hope in time viewers will consider to be Enterprise's two-part finale.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, right? Yeah, it's fine. I heard about in season 5 of Enterprise they'd planned stuff with the Romulan War and everything like
which
that.
Would happen next,
and to be honest, right, I think Enterprise, see if it had run all the way through until 2008, for 7 seasons, right? I think really it had the potential to be the best Star Trek series, the best modern one. If I may say so.
I think potential is a lot of all of what Enterprise was in many respects. It was a good series. I think it's a good series. I think it had its huge flaws, and I think that in time, yes, they would have hugely improved it, and it would have been perhaps like DS9. Starts off fairly weak and gets incredibly strong towards the end. The Romulan War would have been brilliant. They said that for season 5 they would have brought Shran, played by the Andorian, played by Jeffrey Combs, as a main character.
They were going to do also the sort of the future informant guy for the Suliban. The first episode, they were going to make that Archer or something like that.
There was lots of identities of who that was going to be. Archer was going to be one of those. And also the whole intention from day one of Broken Bow in Series 1. Scott Bakula said at the Destination Star Trek London, in fact, last one, he said the intention was that Captain Archer leads Earth's first Warp 5 ship, and over the course of the entire series and the Romulan War creates the Federation. And in the last episode, it's the Federation. And they still did that, sort of.
Yeah,
but, yes,
if it had run for 10 seasons, it would have been even better to see something like that. But,
I think we may have digressed from the topic. Just
a
little bit.
But it's a worthy point. Well, I hope I've made, because it's definitely. I think it's a okay episode.
I think we'll have to put that open to comments.
6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I don't know.
1 out of 10 would bang.
Okay. Well, since we're now back onto Star Trek London...
well, it was more of a general convention topic. That just happened to be a news piece.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Shall I discuss my thoughts on stuff like this? Is that alright? Can I offer my bit? Right.
No.
Okay, right.
Trigger's thought of the day.
The thought of the day. Okay.
We could have like a video sting right here.
Okay, no, that's wrong. Anyway, so, right, I remember I went to London in the last Destination Star Trek London convention. Look, you look really sinister with that S. I'm sorry, that just... Anyway, right. As John and Luke do know, I went to the last Destination Star Trek London convention. Please stop that. So yes.
Do continue.
I'll just minimize that window. Okay, you're minimized now. So basically, yeah, as you know, I went to Star Trek London. I appeared in a video with John and Luke on Luke's YouTube channel, and it was really good fun last time, I think. It was a really nice, good, fun convention, and it was good meeting up with Luke and John and getting business cards and autographs and things like that. I am not sure what I'm going to be doing this year. As to quote John, a feasibility study is currently underway with
me. It does depend a lot on who goes, doesn't it?
The tickets are on sale from the 2nd of June as well.
And the who goes depends not only on guests, but also people you do know. Because you've got the social aspect as well. You don't really want to be there on your own.
No, you don't want to be there on your own. But when I went, I was with my parents and Ian, and they're all huge Star Trek fans because I made them. And, well, especially my parents, Ian.
You assimilated them into your collective.
To put it very mildly. And obviously they loved it, and my mum is in love with Worf, Michael Dorn, and so she had the photo, met him. She just walked up. She didn't even get a thing.
Yeah.
She just walked up in the first 5 minutes of the entire convention and was like, I've loved you for... Yeah, anyway. And she did all that, and my dad met the Andrew Robinson, who plays Garak, and that's my dad's favourite character, and he is, in fairness, and we discussed this before, a very, very good and solid character, well played. And I met Brent Spiner, who's probably my favourite character of Data, and it was all brilliant. And I guess that was my social aspect. I did it. I went with someone. So a lot of people will go and meet people there, and that's
What was really
I
good,
haven't quite had.
What made it for me was meeting John there, getting a t-shirt and stuff, and then meeting you as well. Look, I don't know why I was funny, John, but
It was fun. That was a really fun bit. That half an hour or so. That was really good. And I met your brother, didn't I? Was it your brother?
I did. But one thing, if you two might remember, these things. Do you remember those?
Oh, hang on.
Let me guess, you've still got a crate of them.
Yeah, somewhere I have. Oh, yeah, here they are.
In fact, I think these appear in the video. If you don't know what these are, dear viewer, these are business cards of the Last Outpost group, which is a role-playing group made by John Fisher. Basically a gaming Star Trek group. A gaming
Which
group
I've
with a
since
difference.
no longer been part of.
Lost
Yes.
Outpost is cool. Don't let anyone say against that.
So yeah.
Hello,
Well,
Cam.
That was fun seeing that. And oh yeah, is she watching? Maybe.
I don't know.
We're not live, are we? Probably not. So anyway, and of course I got this as well from Jeffrey Combs, which was great.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What season?
6.
Ah, that's a good one. You see, I've the only DS9 season I'm missing on DVD is season 4, which I'm a bit annoyed at because it's got The Way of a Warrior, which is an amazing episode. But,
Do you know, as an interesting fact, I have, well, collectively, me and my brother collected stuff. We own every single episode and movie of Star Trek.
Wow, even I can't say that. Wow, congrats. But are you going to get the Blu-rays?
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Right.
I don't know if I will because they are still bare money, as my friend Naomi would say.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, I'm looking. If I can go to this next convention, I'm looking forward to going. I would hope to see Richard and John there, and I don't see Luke there since you are going.
Let me explain my dilemma here, right? I've explained
do,
it
yes.
before off camera to the boys. That happens to be the weekend that it's my local community's biggest ever sci-fi convention, DEF CON 3, which I got a table at to promote Star Trek Unity amongst other things. And that's happening on the Saturday and Sunday. And so I'm a bit gutted because I now have to choose. I had an amazing time last time, but it's very doubtful that my parents and Ian would come along unless it was for the whole weekend, all 3 days. And moreover, you know, I've got to weigh up what am I going to get out of this local one. You know, I practically run my hometown socially, not like gas and electric. And so I've got a real dilemma. At the very least, I expect I'd go to London on the Friday, but one can
Well, I
never
mean,
know.
there's not much that actually happens on the Friday. You've just got
Yeah.
the opening shows, and that's about
Hopefully, all the
for big things.
stars would be there though, and you know there'll be some talks, and there'll be the merch, and there'll be autographs and that. Hopefully, depends on who's there, what days I suppose. But I'm hoping to get a bit more out of that because I went to a lot of talks last time, and they were really good, especially the captain's one. That will live with me.
Yeah, the 2 talks I went to, which were Kate Moglow's and Patrick Stewart's, and they were really nice talks.
They were really great.
I went to the free talks. Me and my brother waited in a queue for about 3 hours or something, some ridiculous time like that. But we grabbed a bunch of stuff, and I must say the Enterprise.
You see that they changed it because on the first couple of days it was literally first come first served. So as soon as you came through the door, right, and I was part of the silver queue because I had a silver ticket, so we went in second, and it was basically rush to the free talks table, grab all the little papers that you can for the free talks and run. But on the third day they changed it, but it was a little bit more fairer. But I went to a fair share of free talks. I filmed all of it. I know you're not meant to, but I filmed
I only managed to get to 1 talk of the 3 ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I had 4 of us gunning for it, you see, because whoever got there would get 4 for all of us. But they were really good. So I feel like I've done the talks a bit, and I want to sort of do merch a bit more and see the stars a bit more. I'd love to see Patrick Stewart. That's the one thing I regret not doing. So that would be a thing.
Michael Dorn and Brent Spiner walked past me, and I think
and a visitor walked past me.
when me and my brother were on our way to sort of see John on the Friday night, I think, while you were enjoying yourself in the Stage 8 talk. The 3 Enterprise boys came walking up behind us, and that's the most bizarre thing ever. Seeing those
if
three.
you know
It's like,
them, and yet they're real.
get back in my TV screen.
Yeah, I had that with Nanar Visitor, who plays Kira on DS9, and Dominic Keating, who I also had a free autograph with. When I went up to him, he was drunk. He had champagne in his hand, bless him, and he was like, "All right, mate." And I said, "Hello." And he said, "What's your name then?" And I said, "I'm Luke. Nice to meet you, Luke." Handshake. He was pissed out of his mind. But he was very nice. He was a great guy. He was great.
He was, they were hilarious. The Enterprise guys were hilarious in their talk, right?
Yeah.
I think he went to that, yeah. But I went and got an autograph off of him as well, which I don't think I can grab for you right now. But, I got the poster for Star Trek London signed, right? And
yeah, all right, cool. That's good.
It's sort of what happened was, right, I brought the money. For some of the actors, you sort of went up to the desk and paid the money, right? But for the other parts, there was a sort of bit in the centre before
I
you
remember.
went to them. So I'd already gone to Jeffrey Combs and paid for the money right at his desk, right? But with Dominic Keating, right, I walk up to his part, I put the money down, and the woman next to him says, "Oh no, you need to go to the middle part." I go, "Oh, okay." And Dominic Keating says, "Oh, you can leave that there if you want, mate."
Bless him.
Yeah,
Was he a little bit drunk, perhaps, when he was?
No, I think he was tired.
Yeah. No, it is a lot for them. They're doing it for 3 days straight. Even if they're not doing talks all of the day, they're still sitting there. I mean, I was a bit naughty, and when my dad went to see Andrew Robinson, I was in the middle of a talk with Avery Brooks, I think, so I couldn't go with him, and I really wanted to. So afterwards, I was like, but I really wanted to meet him because he is a great actor, and he's probably one of my favourites. So I just thought, screw it. So I just walked up to him, and I just said hello. I just wanted to say hello, and I read your book because he wrote a book about Garak called Stitch in Time, which is brilliant. Should have got it signed, really. And I just had a very brief chat with him. I said, "Thank you. You played one of my favourite characters on Star Trek." And shook his hand, and he was very nice. I didn't want, I think, don't know if my mum sneakily took a photo or something, but that, they are nice guys for the most part. It's not all about money for some of them. Some of them it is, and that's the sort of people who definitely want you to pay them rather than the person who's in the middle supposed to be doing it.
Well, Jeffrey Combs, when I went up to him, right? I'd already been to the DS9 villains talk. It's sort of, that was great fun. And I went to the DS9 heroes talk and the Enterprise crew and everything like that. So afterwards, I'm going to get Jeffrey Combs' autograph, right? And there's that moment, right, where the person in front of you walks away, right? And in front of you is Jeffrey Combs.
Yes.
That feeling. And it's like, okay, right? And basically, I lay my DVD down in front of him and I go, he was like, hey man, what's your name? And I'm like, Luke. Oh, Luke. Right, okay. It's like, oh yeah, I enjoyed your talk, by the way. Thanks, man. And he sort of signs it, right? And I go, thank you. He says, right, see you later.
No, that's, you only get a certain amount of time with them, I suppose. I think the first one I did, and bear in mind, I think this is probably the first time I'd ever really done anything like this at a convention, was with David Warner, who played Chancellor Gorkon. He also played Girl Massette, the one who tortured Picard, and he played a lot of roles, and he's been in Doctor Who last year. Really nice guy, really accomplished actor, and I had a free ticket to get an autograph from him, so I went along, got the photo, and I was like, I just froze for some of it. I was very pleasant. I wasn't like mad, but I was like, hello, how are you? You enjoyed it? It's like, yeah. And I was like, right, come on, get a grip. So I just had a little chat with him. And when he said, what's your name? I said, Luke. Ah, Luke. One of my sons is called Luke. It's a good name. And so he signed that and he shook my hand and off I went. And
David Warner, yes.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Way, Kirk.
Yeah. So you kind of really want to do the lines, don't you? I can't, some of them they would like sign with a quote or something. It's like I had an autograph with I went to get an autograph from Mark Meir, who plays Commander Shepard in Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the expos last year, about a year ago actually, last May. And I said, "Can you write 'I should go,' please?" And that's the catchphrase of the character. And I said to him, I bet you get that a lot. And he was like, yeah. So some of these guys, I guess, I'm not surprised that Dominic, to get back to the point I'm trying to make, was, a little bit tired. Because they're getting a lot of money, obviously.
No, I mean, I wasn't that bad off. I mean, my brother got a John DeLantis, and he said he was really sort of tired and pissed off, right? And it was just kind of like...
I heard about that.
Thank you. It was like... Although my brother, right, he got William Shatner's, right? My brother walks up to him and goes, well, thank you very much. And he goes, thank you very much. Signs his mug, and he leaves.
Well, everyone has bad days, and you will get. They're only human beings, obviously, and you will get them when sometimes they're in good mood, sometimes they're in a bad mood. But I like to think that for some people, you should never meet your heroes. And I met Brent Spiner, and he's one of mine, I got to say, and he was quite nice, and he fist bumped me. Because obviously shaking hands, probably after several days of shaking several thousand people's hands, probably gets a bit old. So I immediately tweeted that I fist bumped Commander Data. But yeah, some of them are renowned for being a bit difficult. Shatner sometimes is.
No, he was fine to my brother. That's what I'm meaning. It's the sort of thank you very much. The kind of completely relaxed character that he is.
I think it's great. But obviously, if you're in Star Trek and if you're a regular part, you won't always get other work. You do get typecast, to be fair. And they make it worth your while with the salaries that some of those stars get. But nevertheless, going to conventions is a career in itself for a lot of stars. And with that, you want them to get something out of it. So it is nice when... I mean, it's odd because I ran a stall at one of the local conventions for my Unity thing, and I get this little boy come up to me towards the end of it, and I'm just sitting there like I have a laptop set up playing some of the trailers, and I just have a couple of posters and stuff, and I'm just like chatting and enjoying the mood really. I don't really like sell anything, obviously. And he comes up and he's like has one of the postcards that I did.
I have one of those. You gave me one of those.
Yeah, I did that. I do that because that's mostly just to promote. It's like business cards, but flashier. These sort of things, right?
Yeah.
And he came up to me with it, and he was like, "I've been waiting to because I just come back in the room. I've been waiting here. Can I get your signature, please?" And I was like, "Oh, this is the sweetest thing, but why me? I mean, what have I done?" But then I suppose that's what they think, because a lot of them it's just acting, it's just a job, and then suddenly they get all this fame, all this attention. Bit odd, I expect.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think for me, going to this convention in particular, it's going to be my first one. I'm not going to second one technically. I am going to go to the London Comic Con one as well, but I don't think that's going to be as good. But
it'll be different. It'll be different.
Yeah, exactly. This one I'm not going really to promote Risa much. It's more of a case of kind of get a feel of what's going on in and around in life and everything. But I think with the DSTL one, that's going to be completely different for me. I want to do a lot of the merchandising stuff and build relationships up that way, speak with fans directly out on the floor and everything else. I think on the Saturday, it depends on what pre-booking stuff you can do. I mean, I would love to do some of the talks. I would love to do all of them. But I think at this stage, I don't think I have...
At the last one, all the paid talks you could pre-book.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what I will do is I will book a pre-paid talk, if that makes sense. I will pay to have a specific talk. And I'll do it, purely for the sense... for the experience.
Yeah, I think you should do at least a couple. I mean, I did loads, but that's because of the sort of ticket I got. But no, you don't want to spend your whole time doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
As fascinating as they are, you do want to do a bit of the community as well. And
exactly, and
I think you got the right idea.
And knowing me, I'll just get bored halfway through the talk, and so I want to look at what the talks are going to be first of all, because there may not be anything that I might like at all. And obviously, DST are famous for having fan panels as well. So
I was about to say you can do that, and if maybe a panel's not right for you. Maybe if you wanted, they do stands for like fan clubs and stuff. They did do that for a few of them. You could do.
Oh yeah, there are definitely promotions. Definitely stuff getting promoted there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the route that I will go down. This time is to promote Risa and things like that. And so we've got a design for a flyer which we are tweaking at the moment and making it slightly better. I did release like a first draft on Risa to get general feedback and everything. But yeah, as you guys done, I'll get business cards, and I'm going to be a little bit more sneaky. And if I see a bag, there will be a business card of mine in it. Even if the person doesn't know it, there'll be a business card, and then they will just get snuck in. Yeah, pretty much.
No, go for it.
I do that with these. I do. I was sneaky occasionally. I like leave them on tables and stuff.
John gave me 1 million of these, right? And said, give them to anyone. Give them to everyone you see, or something. Do
you know how many I've still got left somewhere, like in a drawer somewhere? I've got loads. I don't know how I even got that many. Literally, I have no idea. I'll just pick this one at random. What a coincidence! What good timing! Star Trek Rapture. So it is good promotion just to sneak things in.
Exactly.
When I go do local conventions, usually you get in, you get to set up your stall really early, and then once you're set up, you're not really doing anything. You chat to the other people, maybe get a few odd deals, maybe if you're lucky. So what I did last time was I got one of the interns, as we call them, some of the Star Trek Unity and Technical Cake Mix interns, or some of one of my mate's brothers, and we go around, we just hand out to the queue. We go outside where there's this massive queue, we just hand out, hello, have this, hello, have this. You've got to be a little bit forceful, just so they take it. They might tear it up and throw it in the bin when they get home, but some won't, and some might even have a look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go right out there and be like, hello. But of course, you don't spend the whole day doing that.
No, absolutely.
I do have a very good picture from London, actually. Look, do you remember one of the videos you did from the Friday night, right? Which was you were filming the cargo containers or something, right? I had just it was on the Friday or something. You were going past the museum and you were like, just.
Oh right, yeah, I did loads of like. Yeah,
it's like
the props
right,
and that.
I passed you before I'd met you. It's like, there's looks something, and then I was sort of walking down the way, right? I sort of turn around, take a picture of the museum, and there's Luke Sutton in the corner with his camera like this.
Yeah, I know.
I actually spotted him during the world record attempt.
Yes, I saw you. I saw you from afar. It was like a beacon of beauty from a distance. I saw you in your like Voyager uniform, wasn't it? Like a yellow gold one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's John
I only
Fisher.
bothered with one rank pit because trying to line them up was a nightmare when you can't see.
I suppose it is. I know someone, James Amy, who is a big Doctor Who fan. He's in with the Lost Outpost lot, I think. I don't know. He's a big Doctor Who fan. He wore the 10th Doctor's outfit in there.
Yeah.
He got in because he just about had something that looked vaguely like a Voyager uniform on underneath. Bless him, he had the Doctor's coat and everything, so I saw him there as well.
Yeah.
Well, coats do have their place. You had
You've got Dr. Crusher's coat.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the
Crushers, weren't there?
programmer's name.
What, Zimmerman?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, I do.
What was I going to say? Darn.
We don't know.
Neither do I. Keep going. I'll try and think.
Well, anyway, I saw him from afar, like a beacon, and I've done that bit. And he walked up to me. I was like, "Hello," and it was fine. I got his number. I work really fast, and I texted him that night when I was at the hotel saying we should do something tomorrow, and he was like, "Yeah." So that's when I met.
Bed thinking of you.
Do you know it was?
Yeah,
when I saw
exactly
John,
that. I had a double bed.
When I saw John and indeed Luke for the first time as well, right? It was actually kind of like what I'd seen with other actors because I've only seen you two on Elite Force Review, Luke on Unity, and John doing all his stuff, right? So then it's sort of like, okay, I get a text from John saying, "Meet me and I'll give you your T-shirt." I go, okay, I'll walk around and I go, haha, there's John Fisher. All my nerves have gone. Yeah, so then I sort of go up to him. John says, "Hello, you're taller than I expected."
Yeah.
Because I'm really short.
But like,
So I was expecting you being younger to be a little smaller.
Well, around Luke, right, I was really sort of like, nice to finally meet you. And then I relaxed a little bit.
I hope I was polite. I knew who you were. That's
Starstrucker.
I didn't know who this was. It Telos? Was it?
Telos. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a beard. Was he the one with the beard?
Yeah, he was.
I was like, you don't suit a beard, mate. That's what I thought.
You're evil, but...
Tell us
You
if
know,
you're
they're-
watching this show.
No.
Anything
No,
that we do
no, you
say
see,
is
the
not
thing is, though,
representative of the data stream.
No, because that's irrelevant to me ultimately, right? You can do whatever you want. I wear a green jacket every day, okay? I cannot talk. I can also not grow facial hair. So the thing is, though, that some of them are really shy, and I was like, I know you guys from Elite Force. I used to do the website, I used to do everything. I really want to meet you, but they're all shy.
That's because we're geeky and nerdy. We are shy by definition.
God sake, you come to a convention. It's not like you've never been outside before in your life, is it?
Well, look, right, basically, me and my brother, right, at one point, because remember, if I met you, and I'd only seen you on the screens, and especially John as well, it's just kind of like, right, okay, this is slightly, what am I going to say, that kind of thing, right? And basically, before, I'd sort of made eye contact with you in the passing, right, before I'd met you, on Sunday, right?
I may not have,
Past you.
recognized.
Yeah, you were just, it was sort of, but, me and my brother were standing in the, canteen area, the Federation sort of cafe bit, right? My brother's standing in the line.
Place is better. Cleveland place is better.
But my brother's standing in the line in the Federation one. He comes up to me and goes, Luke Sutton and Co. just sort of made eye contact with me in the line. I was like, all right.
Well, you're so special. I've made eye contact with you.
But yeah, it was good fun. And my cat is here for some reason. Please ignore her.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are going to be like with me going in. Oh my god, that's Richard Evans.
Well,
We'll be like that.
you know a
Richard.
number of data
We'll
streams
be
now,
like,
so you're
no, because it's weird, right? I'm fine with you guys talking to you right now, right? But if I said right twice, if I meet you guys up in London, okay, it's going to be weird at the start, getting used to you not being on a 2D screen like that and sort of being in front of me.
So I'm going to take you all outside and we do a beam-in sequence.
Yeah.
Oh!
We should have so
Just
done
carry an
that
iPad
last time.
around with FaceTiming or something. Just all talking to each other like this.
If I can't
Hi,
think of
Luke.
it, right, I'll add your number on Skype or something. Well, I got it, haven't I? And I can just be on here. I can just be on the screen. You can just carry me around. It'd be
We
brilliant.
should do a data stream live if we ever meet up. Just a 5-minute sort of, hello, it's the data stream live from London,
I did the Elite Force review, and I seem to recall telling people to get over it and move on with their game.
Get over Elite Force 2, that's what you said, yeah.
Elite Force 2, get over Elite. That's fine. Get over Elite Force 2 because that's going nowhere, right? Elite Force though, I admire how well it's kept going.
You said guys play a new game. That's what you said.
Yeah, but not COD, please. Go on to a Star Trek Online or something.
Yeah.
Or Hidden Evil.
That's just because I wanted the next video Let's Play series and go after Legacy, and I thought, that'll be an easy one.
Right, look.
After I sort of dedicated myself to do it, trying to make it work, I got through 2 laptops,
You picked
virtual machines, and it just would not
John.
work until I got an old XP desktop.
Look, you had an XP desktop. Well, to be fair, that's what I had to do to get it working. But look, first of all, you do Legacy, which is a slightly underrated game, right? And then you decide to compound that game by playing Hidden Evil. I mean, Away Team.
Well, I'm now debating what the next one's going to be. Do I go with Bridge Commander or do I go with Away Team?
Away Team's great. Or do
Away Team's
Armada.
fine.
Armada 1, best game
Armada
of all
1.
time.
Do it.
Armada
Do you know what?
1.
Armada 1 is about £8 or a tenner or something on Amazon for a new copy right now, okay? And my brother actually picked up another one in a charity shop recently, yeah? Whenever you see something like that, you just go for it because you won't find it,
I've got like 3 copies of Elite Force 1 now just because they're in charity shops and I won't find them anywhere else. And chances are that one of them will get scratched eventually, so I need a backup. So
Why don't you just make a disc image of it and never bother with taking the disc out of the packet then?
but I have, and you see the problem is that sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes they've got copyright issues. I got that with Bridge Commander, I think. And it doesn't work on Elite Force 2, I don't think.
I've
Actually,
realised
with
we're kind of
regards to the copyright
segued.
stuff. Sorry, going back to the copyright stuff, you are actually allowed to take a copy of any disk software that you have for backup and restoration purposes.
Yeah, I know that, and that's great, but sometimes they've got copy protection built in, like the Elite Force 2 ones. which is a bit annoying. No, I have. I don't think I've still got my original Armada disc, and I think on my second Elite Force disc, and I've got at least 2 Bridge Commanders. But
I
you see,
still Armada. Yeah. I managed to get Armada working. Right. What I did was, right on Windows 7 32-bit anyway, which is the one I'm using. What happened was the shield animations weren't working. It'll show the first frame of all of the effect shots, right? Which was weird, right? So, okay, that's interesting. I went into the demo, right? All the effects work properly. So, okay, right. Let's fiddle about for a wee bit. So I eventually managed to sort of copy some of the demo files over to the main install, get all the animations working. That works, and it also works without a CD now. The only thing that doesn't work is the opening cutscene, I think. So, yeah, that was
you see it on YouTube now. I used to love those opening cutscenes because they were really good compared to the crap graphics in the game. But that, you know, Armada is
massive Borg, massive Sovereign class Enterprise, and the tiny Nebula class is next to it. You know.
Yeah, it's a little bit. The site, obviously, for a game like that, a strategy game, they've got to play with sizes so that for gameplay purposes. I understand that. That's also the reason you can build 100 Sovereign classes. But it's an underrated game. Even now, I mean, it was a big hit at the time. Even now, it's still great. I still have fun playing it, just by myself, of course, because servers don't always work. But
and with some of these games, there's going to be more problems now because some of the online systems are going to be completely kaput because GameSpy's going.
I know. So that takes out basically all of Activision's Star Trek games.
Yeah, that's everything.
So you've got to work with virtual private networks and LANs and all sorts instead.
I've got a LAN working for Armada before. Usually I do Unreal Tournament 99 for LAN parties. I had one the other week. It was really good. But
actually, there's a way to play Armada 1. You ever heard of the program called Game Ranger? Basically, you can take old games, run a server with it. It's really easy to do. You can just get people to join. I think you and I, look, we need to get onto Armada at some point.
I'll be well up for it, but I need to get dust off my old laptop for it to work.
Oh yeah.
These chips are really nice.
We've kind of segued it quite a bit. I think we're quite good at this.
Natural flow.
Absolutely.
Did we have a topic tonight, or am I just remembering something?
No, I think it's good when we kind of just roll with it. I think.
Yeah. So going back to conventions and things like that, I think talking in a general sense as a community coming together, I think these type of conventions are fantastic. But there's been this old age argument. There has never been, since 2012, there's never been a stable Star Trek convention for UK fans.
Yes.
Now, obviously,
well, you've got no official ones, but there are people who do put it on events.
Yeah, exactly.
The London Comic Con, which is different from MCM Expo, it's the London. It's London Comic Con. It's the one that's at Earl's Court. That one.
That's the one I'm going to in July.
They often have a lot of Star Trek stars there, even though it's just a general one. It's less about cosplay, that one. It's less costuming, more about merch and stars. And that one, that they had quite a lot of Stargate people, and they quite often have people like Nog from DS9. They have quite a few. They get quite a few Trek stars, and there's a few in Manchester that get like Jonathan Frakes coming along.
Yeah, this one that I'm going to has got Dr. Polanski.
Oh really?
Yeah. Dr. Polanski is coming. Don't ask me the actress's name.
Diana Mulder. Is that
Diana Mulder.
And there's someone else from Star Trek. Can't think who it is. It's gone straight out of my mind.
Describe.
I can't even think who the character is.
Was it like some ensign on Deck 36 in episode 10 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's Ensign Dishler from Voyager.
I don't know.
That guy shot on Deck 15?
Yeah.
He wasn't even real.
Anyway, yeah. So
you should go to it. I have not been to one of the Earl's Court ones. I usually go with lots of friends because it's popular to the MCM Expo, which is happening on the 24th of this month, and I usually just stick on a Star Trek costume. Big lot of cosplay, some fairly well-known stars, lots of Pikachus, that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun. very crowded and hot mind. But that's a very different sort of convention in many ways to the specialised Star Trek ones. And before 2012, and since indeed, for about 10 years there had not been a big major Star Trek convention in the UK.
That's why I went.
Same.
It was possible because it was in London. That's the point. Yeah, that's
Okay.
I wouldn't consider anything in America, and I can hear myself.
Okay, guess who are... Sorry to interrupt. Guess who are coming to the London Film and Comic Con, which is the one I'm going to.
Somebody's vibrating with echo.
We can hear
No, I'm
ourselves.
I'm just eating my dinner here. I'm eating some chips. Don't blame me for anything.
Oh,
Anyway.
I think that doesn't matter. It's better now.
Yeah, much better. Okay, so we have Clifton Collins, who...
I know the name.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I think he played... he's a Remus in the Star Trek 2009 film.
Oh, he plays the second in command of Nero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
him. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Which is very cool.
gun.
Someone who's just a particular interest of mine, David Yost, who's the blue Power Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be there. It's just in the same line. Diana Mulder, who plays Dr. Polanski, is going to be there as well. Glenn Morshower. I don't know
Not heard that.
who he played.
I'm gonna search this.
I don't know who he played.
I think last year they had Nicole de Boer, who played Esri Dax, and they occasionally get Rene Auberjonois and that sort of thing. That's a sort of. I think they also had Avery Brooks one year there, and that's quite a
sounds
coup.
about right. There's Ken Marshall as well.
What Eddington?
Just it says Ken Marshall.
I think he played Michael Eddington. I might be wrong.
Terry Farrell.
Dax.
Oh.
That's cool. Actually, I like to meet her. She was hero to me when I was little.
Michael Ensign.
Pass.
Unfortunate name. And
Yeah.
that's it for Star Trek. Oh no.
Yes,
No.
Kenneth Marshall is Michael Eddington.
Yeah, I thought I recognised the name. Who
Yeah,
else?
that's it for Star Trek, really.
Oh.
But to be fair, there's a lot of people going. I'll just name the ones that I can recognise. So Jenna Coleman for Doctor Who is going to be there. Summer Gully from Firefly, Serenity, Sarah Connor, as well. David Hewitt from Stargate and Planet of the Apes.
Wow, I'd love to meet him. I want to go to this.
Going.
What day is it?
Friday the 11th to Sunday the 13th of July.
I can probably make the Saturday of that.
I'm going on the Saturday. I've got the early bird ticket. Robert Ems from Kick-Ass 2 is going. There's quite a few wrestlers going as well. Gemma Redgrave.
Oh no, I like
from
wrestling.
Doctor
You
Who.
laugh, but I like wrestling, and so does quite a few of my friends, and they would be hyped for that. So I might look into this.
John Leeson from Doctor Who. Obviously
yeah.
K9.
Affirmative, master.
Jason Narvey from Power Rangers. Tim Dry from Star Wars.
Power Rangers.
Who?
Yeah, a lot
Star
of Power
Wars.
Rangers this year. Tim Dry from Star Wars.
What was he?
Some form of alien. Don't really know. Sean Crawford. Christian Naran from Game of Thrones. Jack Donnelly from Stargate Atlantis. Colin Baker from Doctor Who.
Ah, he was in my hometown. He was at my con. Oh,
He's just like a nice granddad, isn't he?
He is.
Dave Prowse from Star Wars. Rupert Van Sittart.
Prowse played Vader, and he is also coming, I think, to this big one in my local area. It's called DEFCON 3 for anyone who cares. It's in Tottenham, in Southampton, and I hopefully will be there for some of it.
And I don't have a hope in hell of getting there.
No, but David Prowse is going to that, as are quite a few. I think the Red Dwarf cast quite often appear there. It's quite cool.
And local accommodation is available?
Yes.
Depends what gender you are. Depends, how well I know.
So you have very selective hotels in the area?
Again,
I don't think
fashion.
at hotels. Depends if my parents are home. No. It's good fun. It is only for local people who are sort of in the southeast, I suppose. But it is getting bigger and bigger, and I've been proud to be a part of it. To have it in my very hometown, literally about 2 or 3 minutes down the road, in the city centre or in the town centre, it is good fun. And there are loads of these things about, and people don't know about them. There's some in Plymouth that I know no one's ever heard of, but they're quite cool and they get nice people. So it's all about sort of putting these things together.
Yeah.
Conventions are very popular, even if they're not like Star Trek or Star Wars, if they're not based on anything. People dressing up, getting involved in the local community, I think it's really positive. And there's not enough of that. But these things are, you need to look them up. If you're interested, if you're viewing and you're interested in doing a convention or cosplaying or that sort of thing, wherever you are in the country, there will be something. It might not be a very big, it might be, if you're in London, you're sport for choice, but it's worth doing a bit of research because they're a lot of fun, and although we might not perhaps be describing completely what the experience is like, it's something you can't necessarily describe in one sentence. It's a lot of fun. You really do beam to a different planet for a weekend.
Yeah. London was perfect. It was really good. Good fun.
It was really good. Yeah. The only thing I regret, like I said, is I didn't meet Patrick Stewart, and he's my captain. So next time.
Just a few others, just to name drop a little bit. Stanley will be going to this convention in London.
Yes.
Oh, there you go then.
Excelsior.
Exactly. John Davey, who apparently was a Cyberman from Doctor Who. Annika Wills from Doctor Who and the Avengers.
Who does she play?
Annette Wills, Polly from the second Doctor's era.
Oh, right, of course, yes. Yeah.
Just trying to name a few others. Robert Nepper from Heroes, Stargate, Prison Break. Paul McGann from Doctor Who.
Hey.
Excuse me. I don't know these people. I don't know these people. I don't know these people.
And on the Doctor Who note, go back to sort of what's on TV, the Hollow Channel is currently showing classic Doctor Who.
I have quite an extensive collection of classic Doctor Who right now, and I'm not into it enough to sort of be watching it right now, if you know what I mean. I've kind of rested from it for a while. I'll be back to it when Series 8 comes out, but I'm taking a slight rest from it.
Yeah, I'm taking a bit of a rest from Doctor Who. I just got Netflix, actually, because I basically decided that this year I'm going to go into the 21st century, so I finally got a smartphone. I got an Xbox last year. I finally got all this technology. I can afford it suddenly. And I decided to get Netflix. And they only do new Doctor Who. And that's good, don't get me wrong. It's nice to, I won't have to buy the series 5, 6 and 7 box sets. But
Who would want to buy the
classic
series
Who?
box?
Sorry?
Nothing.
But
The problem with these online streaming services is the catalogues they have access to. Because not everyone releases all the back catalogues because of licensing issues and all sorts.
Obviously, there's no classic Doctor Who on Netflix. I don't know if there's any similar service that does that. But yeah, obviously it's limited, but there's a good selection. I just finished watching the entire series of The Thick of It.
Enough, the BBC is currently working on their own sort of Netflix-like service just for BBC productions.
Yeah. Is this the iPlayer thing?
This is the sort of iPlayer store, or whatever they're going to be calling it.
I think it is the future. How many things do I actually watch on TV regularly now? Like on TV at the...
Yeah.
I don't watch anything on TV now. I watch DVDs. But I've been watching a good American show on DVD. Have you ever heard of Life, starring a Brit, Damian Lewis? You ever heard of it?
No.
Do you know who Damian Lewis is, first of all?
I know who he is. Didn't he do Homeland or something?
Yes.
He's in the company. Did he also do Johnny English? Was he the guy in that? Maybe I'm thinking of Ben something.
No, you're thinking of Ben
Miller.
Ben Miller, that's it.
Okay, sorry. So I shouldn't get those two confused because they're both very good British actors, but maybe it's in the face. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just a good show that I've been kind of watching right now, but that's really it.
Yeah. I watch Have I Got News For You, and when The Apprentice comes on, my God, will I be into that. But aside from that, there's not a lot on that I would not be able to catch elsewhere or just record and watch later. Doctor Who will be the exception, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
well,
Sherlock.
mine's basically about this. This guy goes to prison for 12 years for apparently killing a family when he didn't actually. He's been framed for it or whatever. So he comes out and he's a complete weirdo. Not a sort of creepy weirdo. He's just he solves cases. He goes back to the police force, becomes a homicide detective again, and all his strange methods for solving cases and things like that. And he's creepy smile, loves fruit. He's got an obsession with fruit and everything like that. And it's a good fun show. Only lasted for 2 seasons due to ratings trouble, as most American shows that get cancelled do.
Yes, unfortunately.
But it's got nice closure at the end of it. I would recommend it if you can pick up on DVD anywhere. But yeah, that's life. 2007, I think.
I still want to know what happened in the BBC Sci-Fi Outcasts. That just got cut short.
Well, that was rubbish, apparently, wasn't it? I'm sure
I think you
some people enjoyed it.
could say it was similar to Stargate University in that it was really slow to start. But once it got going, it was quite interesting story, and it ended on a cliffhanger. So something was going to happen, and we don't know what because the BBC cancelled it.
It's a shame when that happens. It is when it's like a dangling story thread. It doesn't almost matter how good or bad the show is. Its closure is needed for a series. I think it's very important.
But
you can't end on a cliffhanger.
I think it was only 8 episodes long, that series.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of Doctor Who, it usually is quite a short series, isn't it?
And it took that time to really get going and bed all the characters in and things, because it was sort of dark and complex. So it needed that time. But they had all sort of scheduling issues with it as well. They hopped it around everywhere. I think it ended up
that's what happened
11 o'clock on Sunday night at the end.
Well, that's what happened with the original Star Trek, really, isn't it? I think it's ratings slightly less important. Well, not to the board of directors, obviously, but to viewers. There is going to be a lot of this on demand. That is the future. We've seen it already more than we think we are. Netflix, Love Film, BBC iPlayer to a certain extent. We're going to see more of that. That's how television is going to be. I think there always will be a place for.
Interestingly enough, when they were planning BBC Three, which is now being gotten rid of, that was actually plans were put forward for that to be an online channel, the original version of the iPlayer.
Right.
But management shot it all down, saying this was a really stupid idea.
I think
and it should be a
iPlayer
traditional TV channel.
I think iPlayer came along at exactly the right time.
But it's interesting how that idea had already been brought up to management and shot down. But of course, at the time, most of the UK was not internet connected. Very few had broadband, so.
I mean, I can get Netflix on here if I want to, right? That's huge. Look, 10 years ago, right? Not even 10 years ago, you could not do anything like that. I could sit on the train and watch an entire film, right? And not need a portable DVD player.
Yeah.
That is huge. And this is how it's going to be. Maybe not on screens this size. We'll still have TVs, but it will be.
Well, we're moving to those flexible screens now, or at least that's what we're going to be going for a few years' time.
Yeah.
These weird curved screens, yeah.
And wearable electronics.
They're a fad. It's like 3D.
Google Glass.
There are limits. I think 3D is a fad. If it's not in the cinema, it's a fad. Because not many people are generally always going to want to put on those glasses to watch everything, right? There are conventions of TV that need to be maintained. TV is generally an audio-based experience, right? Because it's the sort of thing that you need to be able to pop into the kitchen, grab a cup of tea, and still be able to listen to. It's like radio in many respects. And that's why you'll see that in soaps, right? If you close your eyes, listen to it, you still understand exactly what's going on, right?
And that's the power of the sound producers.
It is indeed. And cinema is completely different, of course, because you're in a very structured situation. You've gone there specifically to see something. It doesn't mean to say that you pay any less or more attention to TV than you would cinema, but TV's always been a lot more casual, and maybe we're seeing a slight change to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my parents sort of think sometimes, even though 3D kind of works with some movies, it worked with the Doctor Who 50th anniversary. But certain things like the paintings, 3D paintings work really well. But it's kind of it's not always worth putting those heavy things on your face and just knowing they're there the whole time.
It's got to be really worked into it rather than just being
just
the fad tacked in. Let's make it 3D for the sake of 3D.
Yeah.
Well, look, I saw Star Trek Into Darkness last year 3 times in the cinema, and the first time it was 2D. I went with my parents, my nan, and Ian, and we saw it in a independent theatre, local theatre down by the docks, which we quite like, called the Harbour Lights in Southampton. You should check out if you're ever there. And it was lovely. It was great. It was 2D. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I can see where there might have been worked in some 3D effects. And then the next time, the day after, believe it or not, I went with another group of friends, and we saw it in 3D IMAX at the big blockbuster Odeon Cinema in Southampton. Significantly different experience in many respects of the atmosphere, but did the film really... I mean, yeah, it was nice to see bows and arrows being thrown in your face in the first 2 minutes of that film, and the warp effects and a few other things. But, Benedict Cumberbatch in 3D is quite sexy, don't get me wrong, but it didn't add that much, really. It was more of a event experience rather than a cinematic experience. Yeah, that's
what movies should definitely not become, which is what basically all of them are becoming.
Well, Avatar started it, but anything that's on screen 1 or 2 of your local cinema will probably be in IMAX 3D for some reason. But that said, the third time I saw it, I think a week later, I went with just a couple of friends, and we went to a third cinema choice in our city, which was Cineworld, and we went in there. I think we were one of about 5 people. It was a late night performance or something, I can't remember, and we were sitting in the middle of the thing, whole screen almost to ourselves. Good fun, and it was in 2D, and you know what, that was just as good as the other 2. Didn't really... I know a lot of these films are designed, especially Avatar, is designed to be seen in 3D, and I can understand that. And Avatar is better. It is very slightly underrated in terms of its actual quality. Obviously, it's overrated in terms of its amazingness, but in terms of its cinematic quality, it's a good film. I like it, but it's definitely a 3D experience. Whereas a lot of these films have to be 3D because it's a thing, because it's a novelty. Because if you're not 3D, then you're not quite good enough. Bad perception. It's a fad. 3D outside of the cinema is going to be a fad. That's all it's going to be. They tried it before. Do you remember Dimensions in Time, that Doctor Who thing back in the early 90s for children in need? You had to get your 3D glasses in the papers. Remember that? Well, you probably won't. I don't.
Oh, there's been a few things with papers. Smell-O-Vision was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And did that ever catch on? Not really. Doctor Who 50th anniversary, one-off. Very good, very nice, memorable, one-off. One-off, though. Yeah. End of rant. How long have we been doing this? Feels like
progressively you've gotten kind of darker and greener, and the lights kind of closing just your face.
He is becoming a grittier version of his performance, more evil.
Like up the contrast. I'm suddenly in, Star Trek Rapture, evil Lewis. I'll be glowing with plasmids in a minute. That's all good.
Indeed. I'm in the orange, nice TV lighting, and Richard is in very nice sort of hotel.
He does look like he's in a hotel, and John looks like he is.
John's in space.
Yeah, I have a thing. If I lean back, my nose goes white because of the light above. So
that's fair. You look as though you are where you are, so that's cool. Look, there's someone running behind you.
Yeah, if you watch, hang on. That thing will just flick back because it's a very short clip playing in the background.
We keep seeing the same person run past, like doing laps.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, anyway, I think does that wrap us up? Or
well, we are going to wrap up with a couple of viewer questions. Then what? Questions to viewers to answer, which are from our main points. What are your views on conventions, and will you be going? I've forgotten what the section is now.
That's never good.
You should go to them. They are good. Trust me. Go to a cheap one. Go to a local one. Trust me. You'll have a good time and you'll want to go again.
Not if you don't like Star Trek or whatever the things.
Go to one that you think you're gonna. You don't go to just the Star Trek one. Go to a local comic con
because
sci-fi convention.
At London last time, I was walking through. Some British woman walked past saying, "I've never seen an episode," and I'm just like, out.
And there it is. And the second question is, what do you think of the views expressed here on Enterprise's final? Do you agree?
Controversial.
Disagree?
Controversial. We'll have to see, won't we?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Should I? Okay, right. Anyway, hello. As a little update for myself, which Richard, Luke, and John have already heard about 2 minutes ago, I've only really been sort of doing school stuff, choosing subjects for my senior phase and whatever, and I've been playing Lego Marvel Superheroes. But that's really all I've been doing. Maths homework, and I'm fiddling with these. That's what I've been doing. I'm watching Life and The Big Bang Theory sometimes. So yeah, that's me. Anyone else?
I have nothing to add. Hashtag Bridge Commander. I have nothing to add.
Hashtag scary lighting.
On our channel, it's Legacy, and we will be moving on to Hidden Evil shortly, and then moving on to, from the sounds of it, Away Team.
Subscribe to John Fisher.
Awaiting.
And get your bookings in to go find Richard at Star Trek Destination Star Trek London in October.
I thought it says Destination Star Trek Risa, and I thought that's a great idea.
See, that
Take us to Risa. Run a convention on Risa for us. Transport.
I'm sure Richard can arrange a shuttlecraft, a shuttle service to Risa.
Yeah, we'll get there and maybe, when we're all dead, probably. Make it there.
Unless no, because that'll just get too cold.
Yeah, in space. Yeah, it's cold up there.
Yeah. But with regards to my update, because we like doing updates on the DataStream, things that are happening with Risa, we are doing a big update. That's as much as I can tell you, because that's as much as I know.
It's always an update.
Oh, I know, because we always like improving our services. This
one's even better.
No, we're not doing a major update. No, we're adding functionality to the website. What we're doing is we're going to reinstall. We're going to look again into the social integration side of things, so the Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. So hopefully by the end of May, beginning of June, we will have the ability to post directly to Facebook and post directly to Twitter again, which is something that I've definitely missed, and a lot of our users have missed as well. And being able to log into Risa using the different other social accounts that you may have, so like Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Google. And all the other ones. So that's the
no one uses Google Plus. No one.
I know.
But the number of people with Google accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone who's got a YouTube account's got a Google account.
And therefore, you will be able to have a Risa account.
It's a blight. It's a plague.
It's like the replicators from Stargate. You just can't. You can't do anything. That's it. That's it. It's all over.
Yeah,
all you can do is hope that Yahoo are alright.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what's the main plan for this month really is. Hopefully we're going to get that sorted. Obviously our main goal is working towards DSTL. We're going to be doing a lot of promotion for that, and a lot of competitions as well. I'm going to be live posting from the actual event and posting loads of photos and everything onto Risa. And I'm sure there will be a magnificent competition during my time over there. So
who can find you first?
See, that would be awesome. Who could find me first?
You should wear the Wally costume. Where's Wally?
Yeah, but no, that's counteractive because everyone would see him.
All right, you got to wear a original series gold uniform. Tons of them.
No, a red uniform.
No, I was going to say red. I was going to say red
Yeah,
shirt.
but you'll die if that happens, and I want to meet you.
You won't last until the end of the day.
Yeah, crap. What I could do...
You can always go
Is-
as a Gorn.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good Gordon last time. I like that.
Could go as a Gorn. But yeah, absolutely, so that's kind of our plan, and everything else. We're going to continue to build relationships with various podcasters and various other Trek United fronts and things like that. So
Yeah.
just what on earth? God, you
Ignore that.
weird boy. God. But yeah, so that's basically our plan and everything else. And so obviously I'll still be here to do the data stream as much as I can. Probably next month I might be a little bit stressed, but you never
A
know.
little bit.
Yeah, you'll need to trade Luke for his lighting next month then. Because I think...
It's getting worse.
Look, I have just screenshotted that. I've print screened that, okay?
I think we know what's
That's
going
not-
to be on the title cap for this one.
Yeah, well, it's not the worst other thing I've ever done on webcam, I'll tell you that much. So, my update, just so I'm going to swoop in there, is that nothing much has changed. Unity's going well, doing some remastering, new episode coming out, hopefully this month. And last night I tried falafel.
That's what our
Alright.
viewers need to know.
That's literally what's new. Thanks for watching.
Join us next time.
And
you.
maybe Luke may have tried couscous.
Let's not get carried away, huh?
Yes, and I guess we'll see everyone in 2 weeks, and I guess we'll count down the months until Destination Star Trek London. Goodbye!
Au revoir
Allons-y.
Live long
Bye.
and prosper.